The first place to listen to the hottest K-pop, K-poppin with DJ Isak.
Idol class. It's time to teach your favorite K-pop celebrities English here on Idol Class. We have this every Wednesday here on K-poppin, and as we always have, Halo's 디노 and 희천 in the studio. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
잘 지냈나요, 한 주?
네, 너무 잘 지냈고요. 또 어제는 또 헤일로의 2주년이었습니다.
와!
너무 그동안 네, 감사드리고요. 앞으로도 잘 부탁해요.
Okay, so they did have a good week, and it looks like that Tino was saying that it was their second anniversary yesterday, and so he did say a little bit of a thank you comment to the fans. Now, today though, I hope that the fans for Tino and Hichun don't get too upset for what we're going to be talking about for today. But first, let's kind of go back of what we learned last week. 혹시 멤버분들 지난주 저희 어떤 주제 했는지 기억나세요?
네.
네, 기억납니다. 그럼요. 매주 저희는 복습을 하잖아요, 집에 가서.
거짓말은 하지 않겠습니다. 네. 그러니까 방송은 보는데 돌려는 봐요.
Okay.
근데 복습은 안 해요.
지난주에는 저희 이 머리 스타일,
그쵸.
헤어 커팅에 대해서 한번 했었죠.
그렇죠.
네.
Okay. So, yeah, honestly, I kind of forgot as well of what we talked about last week. But we talked about hair. Tino was saying that, yeah, they go home and they study and they kind of recap all of it. And Hichun's like, no, I'm not going to lie. We do watch the video again, but we don't get a chance to actually like sit down and study. But today, I think even if they don't want to study for it, it's probably going to be quite memorable as well. 이번 주 주제는요, 두 분은 솔직히 좀 까먹고 싶어도 왠지 두 분 성격상 그렇게 쉽게 까먹을 것 같진 않아요.
뭘까요?
과자를요?
네, 오늘의 주제 자체를요.
아.
So today's topic is quite it's not something that they're probably going to use right this moment. So the fans, I mean, I don't want you guys to freak out too much. But, for later down the line, I mean, a few years from now, they're going to probably have to settle down as well. So we're going to try to get them ready for that. 오늘 듣고 계시는 여러분들, 지금 당장 배워서 절대 쓸 거는 아니고요. 나중에 쓸 수 있는 주제니까요. 데이트 신청. 입니다.
와.
저 이런 얘기 너무 좋아요. 이런 얘기.
그래서 오늘 너무 잘 기억하실 것 같다고 생각이 들었었어요.
뭐 좀 써먹을 때도 없는데 뭘 그냥 얘기만 하는 거지.
Okay, so 희천 and Dino are both really excited for today's concept. He's like, I have nowhere to use it anyway, so whatever. But I am kind of curious as to how, a little bit more about how they have maybe a dating perspective at the moment. So I'm going to ask a few questions. 일단은 저희 데이트 관련 yes or no 질문 몇 개 들어갈 건데요. 다 여쭤보진 않을 거고요.
네.
마음에 드는 사람 있으면 내가 먼저 대시하는 편이다. If I like that person, I like to tell them straight off. Yes or no? 하나, 둘, 셋.
네.
No.
네? 희철 씨 yes예요? 아니면 no예요?
예스요.
Yes요. Okay. I've actually been turned down. 데이트 신청했다가 거절당한 적 있다.
네.
네.
하나 둘 셋 기다리고 있는 거요? Okay. If I ever were to go on a date, I would like to plan it or just be a little bit more kind of optimistic and just kind of spontaneous. 그러면 만약에 데이트를 하게 되시면
네.
사전에 좀 준비를 하는 것보다는 좀 즉흥적으로 움직이는 편이다. 하나, 둘, 셋.
네.
Yes.
즉흥적입니다.
네.
Okay.
네. 네.
안 해봐서 잘 모르겠어요.
모르겠어요.
Okay, so it looks like that the answers for the questions that we got, one of them is the type of person who would actually say that they like them. One of them is not. 일단은 먼저 대시하는 편이 희천 씨였죠.
네.
그러면 디노 씨는 고백 안 하실 거예요? 만약에 좋아하시는 분
저는
있으시면?
쑥스러움을 좀 많이 타가지고 잘 못해요.
네? 쑥스러움을 많이 타신다고요?
저는 진짜 이런 거 잘 못해요.
진짜 왜 그러는 거야?
아니면 뭐 먼저 이렇게 오게 만들어야죠.
Ah, 네. Okay. So it looks like that he just says yes. Tito's like, no, I'm the type of person that's kind of shy. And I'm like, really? Shy? Really? But yeah, he seems that he's going to have to wait until the girl maybe says they like them first. Now, we're going to ask, since pretty much both of them were into kind of going, you know, but not necessarily plan a date before, just kind of go off the bat. What would be like the best kind of date that you would think would be the first best date to go on? 일단은 첫 데이트이 좀 중요하잖아요.
네.
처음에 어디서 어떻게 시간을 보내는지 따라서 그 사람의 호감도 이제 레벨이 올라갈 수도 있고 내려갈 수도 있으니까.
네.
그런가요?
두 분은 그러면 첫 데이트를 어디로 잡고 가시고 싶으신지?
만약에 뭐 나중에 먼 훗날 기회가 생겨서 그렇게 된다면 그냥 평범한 거 영화 보고
영화요?
네 영화 보고 뭐 밥 먹고 평범한 거 저는 특별한 거 딱히 원하지 않습니다.
전 집이요. 아 왜냐면 사람들 많은 데를 무서워해서 집이요.
집이요. Okay. So it looks
이상한
like
거 한다고 그랬나 내가.
뭐 아무 말 안 했는데?
okay. So Tito was saying that he wanted to do something pretty normal when it comes to watching a movie or going out to eat or having dinner or whatnot. And then he just says that he doesn't like a lot of people, and so he actually wants to do something a little bit more quiet and down low. So staying home wouldn't be that bad either. So what we're going to do for today is actually talk about how to ask somebody out on a date. Now, honestly, even though I'm going to be teaching you a few things today, pretty much by the book, there's a lot of other ways to kind of ask them out without actually using the word date in it. 오늘 배워볼 문장들은요, 사실 데이트라는 단어가 좀 들어가 있거나 이렇게
네.
좀 직설적이라고 해야 되나? 좀 그런 표현들이긴 한데 다른 방식도 많고 저희 청취자분들도 지금 보내주신 것도 많기 때문에 오늘은
네.
좀 다양하게 한번 배워볼게요.
알겠습니다.
자, 일단은 대본에 있는 대로 첫 번째 문장을 할 건데요. 뭐 정말 한국말로 하든 영어로 하든 정말 직설적으로 이번 주 저랑 데이트할래요? 이런 뉘앙스의 그런 질문이고요.
네.
첫 번째 거는 Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? 희천 씨?
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Alright. 좀 긴가요?
아 괜찮습니다.
괜찮습니다.
괜찮아요? 많이 늘었다니까요, 진짜.
아니요, 그 모르는 단어가 없어서.
그러게요.
오늘은 모르는 거 없군요. Okay, so I was asking them if it's a little bit too long today, and they said no. Actually, according to Hichan, there's no words in here that they don't know, so it's not that hard. Okay, so let's go back and read this a few more times. 그래도 오늘 좀 기니까요.
네.
한 두 번 정도 다시 읽어볼게요.
네.
희천 씨부터 다시.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay. 두 분 읽는 거 좀 더 자연스러워진 거 못 느끼세요?
네.
아 그래요? 진짜 많이 자연스러워졌는데?
그렇게 이렇게 말씀해 주시니까 좀 그런 것 같기도 하고.
아니,
그런가?
아니 지금은 솔직히 읽는
네.
느낌이 조금 있긴 하지만 그냥 물어보는 느낌이 좀 많이 묻어나 있기도 해서 두 분 사실 진짜 많이 늘었어요. Okay, so I was just complimenting on them the fact that their reading has gotten a lot easier. It's a lot more comfortable to listen to now. It's not as choppy as it used to be, and it actually does sound like they're asking a question. So it looks like that some of the listeners today are actually saying, 규리님, 많이 늘어서 이상 언니 감동 받았어요. 맞아요, 감동 받았어요 오늘. So yeah, they have gotten a lot better. They're also saying that this could actually be used later too. 규리님이 오빠 저랑 영화관 가요. 영화 쏠게요.
네, 그럼 팝콘은 제가.
오.
너무 느끼했다. 좀 미안해요. 팝콘은 제가.
그는 제가 쏠게요.
Okay, so Cutie said that she wanted to go to the movies with them, and Tino was saying that I'll buy popcorn. And he's like, oh, that sounded a little bit more or thicker than it ended up wanting to happen. All right, so that's the first phrase that we're going to learn today. We're going to pretty much talk about dates today, kind of how to ask people out. I know a lot of our listeners sent in some messages for today. Some of them are a little cheesy, but we are going to kind of learn them as well. So keep those coming in. I'm actually going to maybe have them ask me out to kind of help with sounding a little bit more normal or more relaxed and not like they're reading it. 이따가 저한테 여쭤보는 걸로 한번 해볼게요. 대본 봐서 읽는 거 말고요. 좀 더 익숙해지면 그냥 저를 보고 한번 물어보는 식으로 한번
좋습니다.
해볼게요.
네.
Okay. So we're gonna have them ask me or even ask each other. 서로한테 물어보는 걸 시키면 웃다가 끝나실 것 같아가지고 차라리 저한테 물어보는 게 나을 것 같아서 이따가 그거 잠깐 해볼게요.
네.
But let's go back and read the first phrase for today. 일단은 디노 씨 지금까지 배운 거 다시 한번 읽어주세요.
네. Why don't you have a date? 죄송합니다. Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay. 희천 씨.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
All right. So I'm going to have them learn the second one, which is the same thing, but it's just worded differently. Would you like to go out this Saturday? 똑같은 의미인데요.
네.
조금 더 짧고요.
네.
굳이 데이트라는 단어를 쓰지 않고 똑같은 의미를 담은 질문이에요.
네.
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay.
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay. 두 개 중에 뭐가 좀 더 편하세요? 두 분?
저요?
전 데이트 들어가는 거요.
저도 데이트 들어가는 게 좀 더 네.
아, 그래요?
네.
좀 더 긴데도?
네.
제가 윈미 되게 좋아하거든요, 노래.
Okay, so I was asking them out of the two phrases, even though they mean the same thing, which one is easier? And they actually said that the longer one, the one that has date in it. So why don't you have a date with me this Saturday is a lot easier for them. 희천 tried to crack a joke, but I don't think it was that funny. But he says that, yeah, he likes the song with me. That's why he chose it. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to have them be battling it out today. Oh, I totally forgot. We have to talk about the penalty. 오늘 또 벌칙을 깜빡할 뻔했네요. 자, 요즘 유행하고 있는 식재료 중에서요.
네.
솔트, 소금이
와우.
들어가 있는 음식이 좀 상당히 많아요. 좀 디저트류에서도
네.
그 짠단이 합쳐져 있는
단짠.
단짠. 뭐 카라멜이랑 그 솔트 아니면 소금이 이렇게 씹힐 정도로 들어가 있는 그런 디저트도 있고요.
진짜로요?
네네, 요즘 좀 많아요.
그걸 먹어요? 사서? 돈 주고?
네, 맛있어요.
아, 진짜로?
근데 요즘은 그래서 그런지 그 솔트 커피가 좀 유행이라서
맛있겠다.
근데 오늘 저희는 그 마시는 솔트 커피는 아니고요.
그렇죠.
조금 더 사랑을 듬뿍 담아서 조금 더 솔트를 소금을 좀 많이 넣어서
오늘 하루를 보내버리는.
정말 이따 연습실 가시면 물을 좀 많이 드시게 될 수 있는 오늘 진분이 그렇게 드시게 됩니다.
네.
So we were talking about the fact that salty stuff is just getting a lot of love these days, more so in Korea. In the States, I know this has been a trend for many years. Salty caramel, sea salt taffy, and a lot of other stuff like that. But something that's become a big trend is salt coffee, and it actually apparently enhances the taste of the coffee. But today, of course, we're going to be putting a lot more love with salt in there. We're going to actually make it quite salty. So their penalty for today to the loser is a cup of coffee that has a lot of salt in it. So get ready for that. But you have to vote. So don't forget to send in your votes for either Tino and Hichon for the remainder of the second hour. We're going to also continue to teach them some pickup lines for today on Idol class. We have IU and Tang Jung of History on the track with 금요일에 만나요. Friday. We'll see you guys back after this with more of the segment. Okay, so it looks like a lot of the fans are actually quite worried about who's going to lose today. 만약에 희천 씨가 지면 먹다가 다 뱉는 거 아닌가 모르겠네요. 지 메시지 보드 귀님.
아니요, 괜찮아요. 저 잘 먹어요.
근데 지금 청취자분들이 좀 많은 그런 솔트 음식을 접해왔는데요.
와.
지금 뭐 커피도 그렇고 맥주도 있대요. 솔트 맥주.
오.
오, 아직 안 먹었는데. 와, 맛있겠다.
와.
Okay, so it looks like our listeners are actually pretty ahead of the trend. They've even tried a salt beer. I actually haven't tried that. I think that's actually pretty interesting. So let's kind of go back and recap the two first phrases that we learned in the first part of today's segment. 디노, could you start us off? 지금까지 배운 거 다시 한번 해볼 건데요. 디노 씨 먼저 해보시겠어요?
네. Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay,
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
all right.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay. 자, 이 두 개 너무 직설적이다. 나는
네.
내 성격상 못할 것 같아.
네.
그러면 저희 청취자분들이 좀 많은 다른
네.
거를 많이 보내는데요. So for these two, if they're a little too straightforward, both of them, if they're a little too shy to say these, our listeners did help us out for today and sent in a few other options. 두 분은 만약에 공연 티켓이 생겼던 안 생겼던 간에 약간 공연 티켓을 이용을 해서 핑계를 만들면서 쓰게 되면 Brooke from Brazil, 브라질에서 온 조언인데요. I got some tickets of this band. It would be awesome if you could join me. 좀 어려운가요?
네.
I got some ticket. 다음에
I got some 치킨이요?
I got some tickets.
I got some tickets.
It would be awesome if you could join me.
It would be awesome because you would join me.
It would be awesome if you could join me.
It would be awesome
If you
if you
could
could
Join
join me.
join me. Join me.
조인 좀 해줘.
It would be awesome if you could join me.
디노 씨 읽어요.
네. 아우. 기네.
Okay. So 맨 밑에 줄이요.
네. I've got some tickets of this band that would be awesome if you could join me.
Okay.
뭐예요?
이제 제 한번 해보실래요?
아니요.
Okay, so Dino read it. Brooke, thank you so much for that one. It looks like it's a little long. Hichon's kind of scared to try it. So let's see if there's another one. This one's actually pretty short, and actually, I think it would be great to use. Hima from India, that is dropping by. 인도에서 온 건데요.
네.
네.
이거는 짧고요.
네.
그리고 좀 약간 재치, 좀 위트가 있는 멘트인데요. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me? 혼자 먹기 싫어요. 같이 드실래요? Okay, so it's this line right here. I'm gonna have 희천 read it. 제가 줄 거는 건데요. 희천 씨 한번 해보세요.
나 혼자 먹는 거 되게 좋아하는데.
He loves eating by himself.
I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
Okay.
예.
아니면 accompany가 너무 힘들면 would you join me?
accompany가 뭔 뜻인가요?
같이요.
아.
Company. Would you accompany me?
Company.
Accompany.
I hate eating alone. Would you accompany with me?
Accompany me. with 안
Company.
들어가도 돼요.
Accompany me.
Accompany me. There we go.
혼자 먹는 거 싫어하는 분이 굉장히 많으시죠, 참.
본인은 좋아하고요.
진짜 좋아요.
Okay, so he was stating that a lot of people don't like eating alone, but he loves it. 자, 디노 씨 해볼까요?
I have eating alone.
I hate eating alone.
I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me? Accompany me.
Yeah, would you accompany me?
accompany.
애영님, 아까 많이 늘었다고 한 거 취소.
너무행.
Okay, so one of our Korean listeners was saying that since I said that they've gotten so good at English these days, she's like, I think you need to take that back. It doesn't seem like they've gotten better. Okay, moving on. There's another one that our listeners did send in. It's a little bit longer, but Mesma, I think you've got the great idea. 캄보디아에서 온 건데요. 사실 이게 뭐 한 줄 이런 건 아니고 약간 상황인데,
네.
아까 밴드 티켓이랑 똑같이 이제 영화표로
아, 네.
이제 미리 예약했던 것처럼 해서
네.
이제 초대를 하는 거죠. 최근에 뭐 개봉한 뭐 로맨틱 코미디라든지 그 영화를 나왔는데 표 생겼는데 같이 갈래? 약간 이런 말이거든요. So I'm going to the cinema, and would you like to go with me? I think it would be fun if we both went together. 좀 길어요. 좀 많이 긴데 그래도 상황에서는 충분히 그러니까 너무 직설적으로 물어보는 거는 아니니까 제가 이거를 누가 하실래요? 디노 씨, 희천 씨.
네.
둘 다요?
네.
그럼요. 둘 다 가능하죠.
그래요? 오케이. 제가 줄 쳐놨으니까요. I'm going to the cinema. Do you want to go with me? I think it would be fun if we both went together. 그거예요.
네.
오케이. 디노 씨.
네.
어딘지 찾을 수 있겠어요?
네. 아영 씨 잘 들어봐요. I am going to the cinema. Do you want to go with me? I think it would be fun if we both went together.
괜찮았어요. 희저 씨, 어딘지 보여요?
네.
오케이.
난 영화관에 갈 건데 같이 가지 않을래?
번역해 주시는 거예요 지금? Okay, so he's doing my job of translating it.
해보겠습니다. I'm going to the cinema.
나랑 똑같은 곳에서 걸리시네.
그렇죠. 왜냐면 그게 중간에 지운 거라서.
지운 거군요. Do you want to go with me?
Uh-huh.
I think it would be fun if we both went together.
Okay. 잘했어요. Okay, 은정님 actually has a good question that I was actually going to help you guys with today. 은정님 아주 좋은 질문 보내주셨어요.
네?
내가 살게요는 뭔가요? 정말 간단합니다.
네.
정말 간단해요. 2단어예요.
저 알 것 같아요.
뭐예요?
I'll buy.
오, 맞아요.
와우.
맞아. 브라보. 맞아요.
이게 뭐라고 박수까지.
그러니까 이 많은 앞에
네네.
지금 청취자분들이 보내준 거 있잖아요. 뭐 이렇게 티켓 뭐 어쩌저쩌 뭐 이렇게 얘기를 했을 때 이미 티켓이 있는 상태에서는 굳이 I'll buy는 아니지만
네.
저희 아까 I hate eating alone, would you accompany me?
네.
그거 물어본 다음에 I'll buy를 붙이면 조금 더 나와요? 약간 이렇게 좀 더 얹힌다 그래야 되나?
그지.
네.
그죠.
좀 나올 확률이
네.
조금 올라가는?
같이 먹자. 내가 살게.
그치.
안쓰럽다.
왜요? 친구들끼리도 그런 말 자주 하잖아요. 야, 나 오늘 내가 살게.
그렇죠. 전 그런 소리 자주 하니까 근데.
안 그러면 안 만나주고
Okay, so 은정님, I'll buy.
I'll
buy.
Yeah.
디노 씨가 맞았어요. Okay, so yeah, Dino actually got it right. One of the Korean listeners asked, what would they have to say if they wanted to buy the meal? And I said, I'll buy. Dino was actually able to get that. And I was saying that you can use this phrase even with friends or after, especially if it's talking about food or if you haven't really don't have the tickets per se yet. And it seems that Dino says, yeah, I say this to my friends a lot too. And then Hichun added on that if he doesn't, then his friends don't meet up with him. But thank you to all of our listeners who sent all those in to us. I think the one that maybe could be the most helpful for today and really sweet is I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me? 오늘은 추가적으로 저희 청취자분들 보내준 것 중에서 두 분이 그래도 좀 외우고 가면 좋을 게
네네.
I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me? 이것까지 오늘 포함을 할게요.
네.
괜찮은 것 같아요.
Okay, so we've got what we've learned up until now in the script, and then we're going to also add this as well. So, 그러면 지금까지 배운 거 플러스
네.
청취자분 거까지 해가지고 희천 씨부터 다시 한번 해볼까요?
네. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
오, perfect. 그리고
예, why don't you hate이란다. Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? Would you like to go out this Saturday?
okay.
네. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
Would you accompany me? with 안 들어가도 돼요.
Would you accompany me?
Okay.
With me. Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay. 첫 번째 거는요, 사실
네.
영어로 뉘앙스상 조금
네.
가죠? 약간 이런 서브텍스트가 좀 있어요.
가족이요?
아니,
가죠.
가죠? 저랑 같이
네.
데이트 하러 가죠. 그게 Why don't you에서 나오는 느낌이거든요.
네.
Why don't you는 거의 가자, 해요. 약간 살짝의 명령이 들어가 있는 뉘앙스가 있어요. 그래서 사실은 부모님들이 많이 쓰거나
아.
선생님들이 이거를 앞에다가 많이 붙여서 말을 해요.
그래서 많이 들어본 것 같고.
그쵸? 그러니까 영화 같은 거 보면 대부분 뭐 부모님들이나 이런 상황에서는 Why don't you go clean your room? 그러면 아주 착하게 최대한 화를 안 내면서 가서 방 치워. 이걸
그런 것 같아요. 왜 Why don't you 뭐네 방을 왜 치우지 않았냐.
네, 맞아요.
맞아요.
그래서 그거를 이제 질문으로 들어갔을
그쵸.
때는 Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? 정말 이 문장 자체는 사실 영화에서 봤을 때 좀 고등학교 영화를 치면 거기서 제일 잘 나가는 남자가 그러니까 이제 복도를 이제 학교 복도를 지나가다가 어떠한 여자한테 가가지고 Why don't you go on a date with me this Saturday? 정말 자신 있게
나랑 거리가 먼.
정말 자신 있는 그런 센텐스예요.
아이고.
Okay, so I was explaining to them that Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday is a little bit more straightforward, a little bit on the borderline cocky side when it comes to the way that it's said, especially when it comes to why don't you, especially because this is used by parents and teachers a lot. Well, I've heard of that in that context anyways. And I was giving them an example of if they were watching like a high school movie or whatnot, probably the high school jock would come up to one of the girls in the hallway, ask her, why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? And that's kind of what kind of gives off. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn a few more phrases after this. Remember to vote. 투표하시는 거 너무 잊지 마시고요. 오늘 벌칙은 아주 사랑이 듬뿍 담겨 있는 짠 커피입니다.
제가 커피 마시는 걸 연습해야 될까 봐요.
So what we're going to do is have you guys vote. So don't forget, we've got really salty coffee coming into the studio. Since we're talking about coffee today, we've got BAP with Coffee Shop. We'll see you guys back after this with more of Idol Class. Okay, so we've got Dino and Hichon in the studio for Idol Class today from Halo, as we always do. A영님, why don't you는 뭐뭐 하지 않을래? 이런 느낌. 맞아요. 정확해요. 그런 느낌입니다. So we are teaching them how to ask people out on dates, and we've got the penalty here in the studio with us. Let's add on one more. We're going to go to the last one for today. So you went on the date and you actually had a good time. Then you're probably going to want to go on another date. So I hope we can see each other soon. 자, 이제 만약에 데이트를 했다고 치고요.
네.
이제 정말 즐거웠고 이분이 너무 마음에 들면
네.
그리고 그러면 다음 데이트도 하고 싶잖아요.
네.
그러면 이제 거기서 할 수 있는 멘트는 I hope we can see each other soon.
I hope we can see each other soon.
오.
I hope we can see each other soon.
디노 씨는 대본 보고 했고 희철 씨는 그냥 했어요. 오. So Hicho was able to do it just off the bat, but Dino had to read it in the script. But that's okay. So including I hope we can see each other soon. Let's have them do everything that we've learned today, including I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me? 청취자분이 보내주신 것까지 포함해서 오늘 배운 거 한번 쭉 읽어볼까요? 희천 씨.
네, I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
Okay, perfect.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay.
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope we can see each other soon.
All right. 디노 씨.
네. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
Okay, perfect.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
All right.
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
I hope we can see each other soon.
왜 이렇게 느끼해?
이게 사실 영국식이라서 그래요, 발음이.
아니에요. 아니에요. So, Hichiro was saying that he sounded like a creep, and then he's like, I was trying to do an English accent. I'm like, no, it's not an English accent. Okay, so before we find out who's going to be doing the penalty today, I'm going to have them maybe not look at the script and maybe try to do the first two. 혹시 오늘 처음 배웠던 두 개를 대본 안 보고 절 보고 하실 수 있을 것 같아요?
그럼요.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay.
Would you like something to drink?
No.
Would you like to go out this Saturday?
Okay, perfect. 희준 씨는 절 보고 하지 않았지만 예, 완벽했어요. Okay, so 희준 didn't look at me, but he did it without looking at the script. 자, 디노 씨.
Would you like to go Go to the out. 희천. 희천 go to the out.
Why don't you have
네. Why don't you have
a date?
해보는 저희
date?
팬분들이죠.
Why don't you a date with me this Saturday?
Okay. Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday? 자,
형
두 번째.
쌍꺼풀이 있네요?
속쌍꺼풀 있어요.
처음 알았어. 아, 지금 되게 느끼하게 얘기하면서 눈을 막 이렇게 뜨더라고요.
궁금한 게 있는데요.
네.
이 세러데이 있잖아요. 어디는 어느 쪽은 뭐 세러데이 하지만 어떤 세터데이 하고.
아, 그거는 네.
그 지역에 따라
지역에
다른 거야.
따라 약간의 사투리라고 볼
아,
수는
그래요?
사투리까지는 아닌데요. 사람마다 다 달라요. Saturday라고 말하는 사람들 있고요. Saturday라고 말하는 사람들이 있고요.
토요일.
So Tino was asking the question of sometimes people say Saturday or Saturday. It depends on how they pronounce it. It's different regions. It wouldn't be necessarily a dialect difference, but it does differentiate with different areas and how they pronounce it. But when it comes to if you want to substitute this, then you can of course substitute this with any other day. This하고 this 붙이셔서 이제 뒤에는 어떤 요일이든 다 붙일 수 있습니다.
아,
네.
아니면 this weekend, 주말, this weekend,
This weekend.
this weekend, or next week, 다음 주.
this
Next
holiday. 아, 죄송합니다.
아니요, this holiday도 괜찮을 거예요. 네, 네, 괜찮아요. So Tina said this holiday, and I said, yeah, it actually does work. So if you were saying, would you like to go on a date with me this weekend? It's okay. This week, it's fine. Next week. 만약에 다음 주에 볼까요? 그러면 this는 안 쓰고,
Next week.
yeah, would you like to go on a date with me next week? Or next Saturday. 만약에 다음 주, next, this 대신에 next 쓰시면 돼요.
어허.
Next Saturday. 그러니까 다음 주 토요일. Next week. 다음 주. Okay? All right. So I love our reactions from our listeners. 오구오구 잘한다. 오구오구. 우리 청취자분들 사랑합니다. 진짜 멘트 너무 사랑해요. Okay, so let's kind of go back. I think we didn't get a chance to have him say everything. 디노 씨 일단 말한 거죠?
그렇죠.
아니, 그렇죠.
하나 더 남았죠.
네, 하나 더 했어요.
I hope we can see each other soon.
I hope we can see each other soon. 두 분은 저를 보고 하시는 게 좀 쑥스러운가 봐요. 서로 보고 계속 하시네요. 서로 보고 하면 더 쑥스러울 줄 알았더니.
근데 낯가려가지고.
좋아요. 서로 보고 하셔도 돼요.
아니요. 희천 씨 한번 하실래요?
아, 저 했어요.
Okay, so Hiton and Dino were able to do everything, and they keep looking at each other. I thought it would be more awkward to look at each other and ask them each other out, but I guess it's more comfortable instead of myself. So let's just, for the sake of recapping today, I'm going to have them recap everything we've learned so far. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me까지 포함해서 지금까지 배운 거 오늘 다시 한번 쑥 해볼게요. 희저 씨.
네. I hate eating alone.
Would you?
Would you accompany me?
Okay, perfect.
Why don't you 봐야겠다.
Okay. So he got to why don't you? He's like, no, I have to watch it. I have to look at the script. Okay, so go.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
All right.
Would you like to go out this Saturday? I hope we can see each other soon.
Okay.
네.
디노 씨.
I hate alone eating.
What? No, I hate eating alone.
I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
Okay.
Why don't you have a date with me this Saturday?
Okay.
Would you like to
Go out.
go out this Saturday? I hope we can see each other soon.
Okay.
오늘 피곤하죠?
참 많이 잤는데.
Okay. So after reading that, he was like, "Are you tired?" He's like, "No, I'm very well rested." But I guess he wanted to say it that way. 근데 오늘 정말 칭찬해드리고 싶은 거는요. 그 청취자분이 보내주신 거에서 I
네.
hate eating alone. 거기서 살짝 멈춰서 Would you accompany me?를 제가 굳이 알려드린 건 아니었는데 두 분은 꼭 그거를 지키고 가셨거든요.
한번
그냥 단순하게
그쵸.
그냥 이렇게 못 외우니까.
아 근데 그 자르는 시점이 거기가 맞아요. 살짝 거기서 쉬고 그리고 들어가셔도 돼요. I hate eating alone. Would you accompany me?
디노 형이 옛날에 피자집에서 알바를 해가지고 자르는 걸 잘하거든요.
정말. Okay, so I was complimenting on them on the fact that they were able to pause correctly when they were reading I hate eating alone, would you accompany me? They don't have this written down, and so they're doing this strictly from memory, and they did a really good job at doing that. Hichun tried to make a really, really not funny joke by saying that Tino used to work at a pizza place, and so he knows how to cut really well. So wow, yay!
윤동이도 자르는 거 잘해요. 맥커터예요.
Oh my goodness!
살짝 욕.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay, so what we're gonna do is we need to figure out who won today and who's going to be drinking the very salty coffee. So let's give the drum roll, please, to find out who won this week. 자, 오늘 아주 맛있고 사랑이 듬뿍 들어가는 커피의 주인공은 디노 씨. 희천 씨 이번 주 이겼어요.
아쉽다, 먹어보고 싶었는데. 왜 항상 반대일까?
This is a very salty coffee.
먹어봤어요? 아직?
아직 네. Not yet.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
어떡해. 잠깐만. Okay, so it looks like they put a lot in there.
까나리 넣은 거보단 낫죠.
이거 커피가 진짜 하나도 안 나오고 진짜 소금밖에 안 나 진짜.
Okay, so you say that it doesn't taste like coffee at all.
진짜로. 나 좀 많이 마셨거든요.
좀 심한 말을 뻔했어.
Okay, Hichun almost said something that he shouldn't on air. All right, well, it looks like that the penalty's over. They're going to be joining us next week, so don't forget to join us back into the studio. In the meantime, Halo is going to take us out of the studio with 희천&디노 Fever. We'll see you guys next week. 다음 주에 봐요.
감사합니다.